What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video. But before we get into this video, folks, I just want to make a quick announcement. Tomorrow I will be doing a marathon style podcast starting around 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, if you don't know, if you're not in the United States, tomorrow is American style tax day. That's right. And it's a big critical day in the United States for many hardworking individuals, but specifically for DSP, that's right. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, our boy DSP several years ago announced that he failed to pay his taxes and ended up owing the IRS $16,000, which led to several months of marathons, e-begging, and of course scamming his mother out of $4,000. So, you know what? We've been going through the various anniversaries recently. I figured why not? Tomorrow would be appropriate to discuss the scamming of the IRS. So if you got nothing better to do, come hang out 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it should be great. Now, let's get into the daily wrap. So that's right, our boy Phil here is recapping his day, which of course included a 30-minute crash out, which was insane. DSP now trying to own his Lolcowness, right, and trying to cash out on drama content and drama titles and clickbaits, as DSP likes to call it, and we'll get into that, and of course, you know, talk about his boring ass gameplay. So let's see what Phil had to say on the daily wrap, folks.
Good morning, everyone. DSP here, and welcome to the daily wrap for what was Monday, the 13th of April, 2026. Another great streaming day, although admittedly the last in the how can I say, the order of things as it has been for several weeks. As you know, what I've actually had lined up is days set with certain vibe. Like for the last several weeks, I've had days where it was like always Dragon Quest VII paired with RimWorld, always Pokemon Fire Red paired with Retro Rewind, and then it would be Crimson Desert paired with Street Fighter. Well, today was the end of that. Well, will be the last day of that, as things are going to mix it up tomorrow. But let's talk about how today went, what you missed if you didn't check it all out, and let's talk about what you can see on this channel tomorrow if you make it. So, today, we started off with a DSP morning show. And it was a good one. I'd say for like the first half, it was fine. And then people started hitting me with their nonsensical new conspiracy theories about something that happened 13 years ago in a playthrough of yours and you were cheating. And it's like, the internet just cannot get a life and or realize how different they are when it comes to people who've lived on the internet endlessly for so long and how they hyperfixate on minutia and nonsense that normal people do not care about or even, you know, waste a breath on. So we talked about it for a good amount of time, which results in people saying, well, Phil crashed out. It's like, so you brought something up on my morning show. I addressed it very rationally. I told you like it is. You didn't want to hear it, so you call it a crash out. I guess that's fine then. In fact, I even titled my DSP morning show, DSP Crashes Out or something like that. So enjoy it, all right? But yeah, if you haven't heard what the latest nonsensical garbage is that people are saying about me, you're about to have a good laugh if you hear about it for the first time on the morning show. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, after the morning show ended,
Okay, I want to address DSP here and his crashing out. That's right. So apparently DSP, if you don't know, I posted a video yesterday. It was about a 30-minute clip where the man simply just crashed out because people were asking him for his thoughts on a documentary style video that was conducted where someone had proof that DSP had cheated during his Demon Souls playthrough about 13 years ago, right? And they've been, you know, the trolls, the LARPers have been asking about this for a while in his chat. So Phil decided he had enough. So in his typical Lolcow fashion way, he decided to address it. And it's simply just laughing it off or saying it's not a big deal or just ignoring it. How about that, Phil? Ignoring it. No. DSP decides that he wants to react to it. And not just a simple 5-minute react to it. No. 30 minutes of simply crashing out over a simple question. And then he sits there and he doesn't understand why people laugh at him, they mock him, you know, they ridicule him. This is the reason why, DSP. A normal person would read that question and either laugh it off or maybe address it in a 2 or 3 minute segment. They wouldn't spend 30 minutes crashing out. And folks, you gotta watch that video. He literally tried to blame being an alcoholic for why he potentially cheated. He didn't admit to cheating. He said, if I did cheat, I was an alcoholic, so, you know, it doesn't count. And then I guess he realized how that sound, so then he doubled down and it basically said, well, no, I didn't cheat. I never cheated. That's a lie. That's just my detractors making stuff up. Bro, it was so ridiculous, man. It was, and he was just crashing out for 30 minutes. And the interesting part is that at the beginning of the podcast, he was talking about how it's chill, it's relaxing, how he no longer takes the bait. And what does he do? He took the bait for it was somebody dropped a $2 super chat. Ask him his thoughts about that video. And he bit and took it and ran with it and seemed like a lunatic. Utterly seemed like a lunatic, just started screeching, howling, going insane, and at the very end, I think he realized what he did. It's really funny because DSP recently has realized that, yes, he just is a Lolcow, and he can't help himself. The man is a 44-year-old man who can't control his emotions. That's literally what it is. Typically, most people that would have gotten a question like this, and if it did bother them, they would have just ignored it. Not answer it, move on to something else, or if you want to address it in 3 minutes, or you know what, just say who cares and move on. But not DSP, nope, because of course DSP, it bothers DSP to know that someone has a negative view about him. He thinks every video that's out there is going to hurt his business, and some dent that potentially could be a pay pig for him is one day going to see a video that says he did something wrong, and they're not going to support him. I'm sorry, Phil, if someone's supporting you, they already have problems to begin with, you know what I mean? Most of them, not all of them, but most of them have some type of sociological, physiological issue where they want to support you anyway. So watching a video from a detractor isn't going to change their mind, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. But the interesting part is of course, recently what I've noticed with DSP is that he's been using the clickbait thumbnails and the clickbait titles. Every video now says crash out. You know where he got that from? He got that from me. He got that from me because he sees that I'm successful, as Phil like to say. You know, I like to use those words and titles, crash out and stuff like that. And he actually started to use that in his videos, thinking that someone is going to go and watch his content. Really, Phil? I'm sorry, brother. No one is going to go watch your content. You know what? I got proof right here. Hold on a second. I got proof right here. Let's go to DSP's channel while we're here, while we're on YouTube. Let's go to DSP's channel. Let's see how successful it is. Let's see how successful it is that he decides to use clickbait titles and so on. So here's DSP Gaming right here. Let's look at his most recent videos. Okay, right here. Let's see here. On to drinks and further expansion. He got 124 views. Okay, Phil, way to go there. Let's see here. Big progress in Pokemon, Potbelly Pain, and Retro Rewind. 178 views there. Let's see here. No clickbait for Pokemon. Okay, let's see what else. Here it is, crashing out about the stupidest controversy. He got a whopping 256 views. By the way, my video recapping that meltdown got about 8,000 views. So great job there, DSP. Where else? I think he also did it for Street Fighter, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go to Street Fighter, his last Street Fighter stream, and I think here it is. It broke him. DSP quits Street Fighter 6. Look at it with the stupid look, that stupid ass look on his face. It finally broke him. DSP quit Street Fighter 6 in an epic crash out, and you got what, 3,000 views on that? Come on, Phil. You know how much my video got? My video, I think, ended up getting about 12 or 13,000 views. So again, Phil, people aren't going to come watch your crap. I don't give a shit if you use the clickbait titles. I don't care. It doesn't matter, brother. No one's going to watch it. All right? They rather just come and watch the detractor video. But anyway, apparently now crashing out will save the business for DSP. He thinks owning the meme and owning his Lolcowness will save the business. And I'm sorry, Phil. There is nothing in this world that can save the business. Not even our Lord Jesus himself could save the business. It's a fait accompli, Phil. And you really need to start winding down to the day that you can no longer make a living on YouTube, which requires you to start saving some money, which requires you to lean into being a Lolcow, yes, and try to milk it for as much as you can. And yes, finally getting a job. You're going to have to get a job, brother. So you're going to eventually have to, I know you scammed your mother from the 10-year plan where you promised her to get a job for money. and you scammed her, eventually, Phil, you're going to have to take your mom up on that. And you're going to actually have to take a job. So eventually it'll pop up. Sooner rather than later, it's going to happen. And our boy DSP is not going to know what to do with himself. We're gonna watch. We're gonna see pictures and videos of people taking pictures and videos of him working at like Walmart or Marshalls, and it'll be great. And I'll be around. Trust me, I'll be around. Even if I'm not doing the tracker content anymore, if DSP is caught working at Walmart or Marshalls, I will go on live that day and recap the footage in the video and make fun of DSP. So I promise you guys that no matter what I'm doing in my life, I will make sure to make time for that content the day we see DSP actually working, because one day it will happen, folks. Don't worry. All right, let's see what else he has to say. Good God.
We jumped into Pokemon Fire Red. 3 hours of Pokemon Fire Red today. Great progress today. So just listen up. Today we had multiple high-level evolutions of my existing Pokemon. We recruited tons of new Pokemon. We even got a Snorlax on the team, which people are saying is one of the best Pokemon in the game. We started building these Pokemon teams to be much better now. So I have a good variety of characters and you know, actual Pokemon I'm going to use for longevity rather than just kind of tossing them on because I recruited them. And I retired a couple that I don't think I'm ever going to use again, namely that Mankey. I don't think he's going to be very useful moving forward. So overall, great progress. We took out a gym. We actually went and took out Team Rocket. We went and took out the entire Ghost Tower. And then we kept going. Like I said, we took out the Snorlax, and we're heading towards a new town. So absolutely great progress in the game today. And then when Pokemon ended, it was time for DSP Tries It Potbelly, which I'm not kidding you, was one of the most disappointing DSP Tries It I think I've ever done in my life. I had not had Potbelly in many years. I'd heard good things about it. It was terrible. It was legit awful. So if you didn't see it yet, the new DSP Tries It is live over on the DSP Reacts channel. That's at DSP Reacts on YouTube. I hope you'll give it a look. It's entertaining to say the least because, man, not only is the food a ripoff, it's also bad on top of that, okay? No exaggeration. It affected my late stream because my guts were affected. When I came in here to do the late stream tonight, I didn't feel good. My guts were feeling queasy. I'm like, oh, this food was not very good, man. So, first stream was good. And by the way, support for Pokemon, absolutely outstanding.
Okay, I'm not going to say much about Pokemon because, God, man, that is such a boring playthrough. I try, guys. I really do. I want to try to harvest some clips out of it, but I just can't. I can't. I'm a few minutes in and I'm falling asleep already. So I didn't get to watch much of Pokemon. The Feasting with the Pig, again, you don't need to watch it. It's just him saying tangy and tasty and having bubble guts and complaining about everything. That's all he does. No one cares. It's not interesting. It's not informative. It's him lip smacking. And sometimes I try to clip it because some of my detractors actually like watching it and laughing at Phil. I couldn't even watch it. I watched a little bit. I mean, I couldn't even clip it. I watched a little bit of it and I said, I'm not going to subject people to this nonsense. Even for the 3,000 or 4,000 views I get from those videos, I'm not going to subject anyone to that nonsense. I got better things to do than that, okay? Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, thank you, Snore Hogan, for reminding me. I saw his video. He actually, during his crash out during the podcast, he actually screamed out, "My wife's not fat," which was great. I actually have a short. Hold on a second. I posted a short of it. We can watch it. Let's watch it. Hold on a second because it's great. It's amazing. What am I doing? I could just what am I doing? I could just go here, Doody streams. Short. Let's watch it real quick. It's very quick. Watch.
And if you can accept that, congratulations. Welcome back to reality with the rest of humanity. By the way, I'm not poor. I'm not unhappy. My wife isn't fat.
That's right. That was from yesterday's stream, the podcast. That's how bad he melted down. He started screeching about how he's not poor and his fat wife isn't fat. Okay, Phil, whatever you say, brother. I don't even, God, all right, you know what? Watch the short. It's really funny. You can watch it again. Let's watch it one more time. Let's watch it one more time.
Congratulations. Welcome back to reality with the rest of humanity. By the way, I'm not poor. I'm not unhappy. My wife isn't fat.
I think that's one of the best shorts I ever created. Alrighty, let's move on, folks. Let's try to be positive here. Let's try to be positive. All right, let's see what else he has to say. Let's do Retro Rewind.
Thank you to everyone who comes by, engages, and supports a brand new release, which was another stream. Will probably hit 15, 16. It seems like every we're actually going to unlock like candy machines. So it's okay that we don't have or earlier today's Pokemon Fire Red. it's okay that we don't have, oh my God, bull you on your butt levels of support for a game like Retro Rewind. So thanks to those who were there. Thanks to those who continue to engage and support with the playthrough. Yes, we will play it again on Wednesday night because this week is different. As I said, today is the last day where it's kind of the same schedule doubled up, and we're going to talk about that now, okay? So great day of streams. Thank you to everyone who was there for them. Enjoy on demand, and please enjoy DSP Tries It over.
All right, whatever, Phil. No one gives a shit. Good God. All right, so the rewind stream, if you want, I did clip it. There was really, it was fine. He didn't hit the goal, of course. So 0 coffers for one stream. The other thing too is he tried to get the detractors tried to bait Phil into addressing the Kino Casino quartering issue. What ended up happening was DSP made it about himself, like everything else. Like I said, the stream didn't hit the goal. He wasn't happy, and it looks like he's looking for a reason to sunset. Well, not really. He's trying to extend Retro Rewind because it's a boring-ass stream. You really don't have to do much to play the game, but it has been supported recently. And these are the type of games DSP loves. It doesn't require much thought. It's very simple and easy, and the dents in his chat seem to like it for some reason, and they typically support. It's the perfect recipe for DSP. And he's trying to hold on to it, but sadly, I don't think he's going to be able to. This Retro Rewind, I think this was the 3rd stream where he hasn't hit the goal. So he can't be doing that. He'll claim that it's okay, but it isn't. Trust me, it isn't. He'll use the excuse of, well, you know, we're gonna hit level 20 and then we're gonna sunset it. We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back someday. And of course, he'll never bring it back. He'll never bring it back. All right, folks. Well, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely check out the crash out video if you want. I'll link it in this video. And then also, don't forget, tomorrow we will be having a marathon stream around 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and we'll be taking a venture in the Wayback Machine and taking a look at when DSP scammed the IRS. That's right, the anniversary. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.